In the previous lesson, we saw how we can create some parenting and relation between objects in Blender, like father and children relation. And we can also nest things, meaning that we can put an object inside another object and then inside main object. And so to do this, we're basically managing and organizing our scene into groups, and we have different ways we can do that, and we already saw those in the previous lesson. So we can use collections, we can use empty objects, or basically gizmos that can act as a group. We can join things together. We can also use some modifiers like the array modifier, and etc, etc. So work on the organization and the management of your scene. That's really important when you have complex situations. So as we move forward in the course, we're gonna work with more complex scenes, so you may want to increase your level of expertise in this area, and especially in the outliner in this case. But also we saw that we can act on the properties panel down here. We also talk about creating scenes, organizing scenes, different scenes, and also organizing and using view layers. So being able to manage perfectly the viewport, your workspace, it's really important if you want to become like more professional. And also the properties panel, we are discovering more and more each video. So this is the part, for example, regarding the relations. So this is where you can like also remove a relation, and also be careful when you remove a relation that's gonna affect the object, because it's gonna lose like the inherited properties from the parent object, from the father. And so I can assign this to another object by using this picker right here. And this also now is being affected by the other parent objects. Okay, so now I'm gonna close this. I'm gonna start with a new general scene, and we're gonna work in modeling. So we're gonna go from object mode to edit mode. We're gonna start to work in the creation of more complex objects using different techniques. First one is gonna be polygonal modeling, and I usually call it art poly modeling. So it's basically working with art surfaces or straight edges, straight corners. Really useful when you work with architecture, for example, which has like straight lines. And also we're going to see modular. We're going to use the grid, and we're going to see how we can set up the grid and how we can use it to create modular polygonal modeling. So one thing I want to show you right away is one additional add-on that we can use. So here we can see that the main cube, when we create the scene in Blender, is going to be 2 meters. So if we go here on the top, we can see that the grid from the top, it's like each meter. You can see a major line each meter, and then these smaller ones are like 10 centimeters each. But if you move around like this, you in the 3D viewport, you can only see the bigger, the major lines. So usually when we work with modular and grid and snapping to the grid, we're gonna be on a 2D space, 2D view like this. So use the 2D views from the sphere here. And so also in the visualization, here is where we can set up in the viewport overlays, where we can set up the scale of the viewport. So 1 means 1 meter. So if you change this into, let's say, 0.1, it means that you're defining the scale of the grid each 10 centimeters. And you can see it right away also here in the 3D viewport. So this is something you may want to do or may not, depend on you. I usually stick with the original, leaving it to 1. And I'll show you why. Because first of all, I have already subdivisions, which I keep to 10. I don't want to lower this number. I like 10. But also, if you get closer, now what we are seeing is each 10 centimeters. If I get even closer, I start to see the centimeters. So these are the centimeters. And if I go even closer, I will start to see the millimeters. So this is kind of an adaptive grid that changes according to the zoom level that you are working with. So it's an adaptive grid. So make sure it's on, and you can customize it if you want, but I'm gonna leave it as it is. It works already fine for me, and that's one way. Then there is also an add-on. Well, actually, there are more than one add-on that you can use. So when you're looking for something, when you're working with something specific, just look for if there are like additional features that you can use. And to do this, you go to the preferences, get to the get extensions, search for the grid, and you can see here there are some others here like the grid layout, grid generator, etc., etc. So this will surely help you to do something with the with this specific topic. So in my case, I've installed this one here, which is called Grid Dimensions, and I'll show you what this does. Well, first of all, you'll find it in here in the viewport overlays. So sometimes the add-ons will be found in here, sometimes they will be found on the sidebar. You can know more about the add-on if you go here and just click on the link. That's going to bring you to the page here. So this is grid dimension, and you can see what it does, and this is grid layout. So that's another, maybe for another purpose, but make sure you always investigate these add-ons. So if I go here, I can activate grid dimension, and this will remind me the size of the grid, so I can work perhaps better in a modular situation. So you can see that the more I get closer here, especially if I go in the top view, the more I get closer, you see this will get smaller and smaller numbers. Okay, so perhaps I want to use the basic one, which is this one here. Otherwise, you can go here and customize it. You can change the color. You can make it maybe less intense, so darker or brighter. And you can change the font size, etc., etc. So you customize it however you want. Okay, now I also want to show you here. Let's go to blender.org and let's go to download area demo files. That we can find some examples here also of art poly modeling or architectural modeling, interior design, and things that are pretty straight. Well, actually, this is a complete scene that I definitely suggest you have a look to. So let's do it together. Let's analyze it together. And so just click here and download it. I've already done that. So I'm gonna open it in Blender. And let's see it together. So first of all, you can see there is a pretty strange layout, but this is, by the author that perhaps he likes to work like this. But if we want to retrieve the original layout, we can click here on the plus, and we can choose general, and we can just select layout. And this is going to be the standard Blender layout. So we can analyze this scene a little bit better. And first of all, let's see how he organized everything. That's really important to check other people, especially if they are like more expert or professional, how they work, how they organize the scene to do what they want to achieve. And there's also some text, so I'm just gonna delete this text. And by the way, if you want to add text, you can go to add, and you can go here text. So that's just gonna move it here. There you go. And that's kind of another 2D vector graphics element that you can add. And it has its own data properties here. So I can change resolution. I can I can extrude it. I can bevel it, just like we did with the other type of curves. Then you can change the font. You can change the size. And all these parameters that you usually find in text editors, like the alignment, etc., etc. And also, well, if you want to change the content, you need to go from object mode again into edit mode. So let's type here Blender 5. Okay, that's a quick tour of the text. All right, now you can see that this author has organized everything perfectly. So, well, except from the text that I just added, well, everything is in a bigger collection inside the scene. And then if I expand this, we have like smaller collections like cameras, and then I have instances, And then into the instances, I have some null or empty objects to group things together, etc., etc. So the things that we explained in the previous video being, just used to perfection in a way. And so you can be really specific, and this will help you to manage again and organize a complex scene. For example, here I can turn off the essentials, I can turn off the furniture, the decoration, the lighting, and the only thing I see now is the structure of the building, which is pretty hard. Poly modeling is pretty hard edged, and it's